The reasons why we're talking about this are manyfold. And I know that at the heart of our discussion today is about that proactive, reactive maintenance system. But actually, if you unpack that a little bit, there are a number of asset management challenges that large organizations have. And we work across, InView Assets works across NHS, airports, university, historic sector, and schools as well. And all of those organizations have similar characteristics, and they have a large asset portfolio. And ordinarily, or nearly always, they will have incomplete records of the asset. That doesn't necessarily mean its condition, although that's highly likely, but they will have incomplete records in terms of just information about the asset, because the assets they have on their estate are of different ages, and the plans have been lost, or the plans were done in, I don't know, kind of hand drawn in the 60s or 70s, or they haven't been converted to CAD, or some of the plans are in BIM. So they're all different in terms of that sort of asset management that you've got. And that creates a lot of problems for people moving forward in terms of how you better join up all of these pieces of data. And that leads me to my second part of this, is that data is often siloed. So it may be that you have an estates team who are heading up your asset, but typically that estates team won't have access to all this information. Or sometimes what we find is that information is actually lost as people move to different posts or retire or change jobs or whatever. And I think the third reason, which is critical as to why a lot of organizations really want to know more about their assets, is resilience and sustainability. What is the risk that the asset that we've got is going to be damaged by climate change, increased storminess, or freak weather events, or extreme temperatures? What do we know about it? And what's the potential in terms of sustainability of perhaps improving the thermal performance of the building, or fitting solar PV to the roof? Again, if we don't have complete knowledge of that asset, because we've got incomplete records, those questions become very, very difficult to answer. And again, this is where the drone technology, which is basically quicker, safer, cheaper than anything else, allows asset owners to get themselves together and get that data. And over on the right-hand side, I've got really, a sort of linked set of opportunities and benefits which come directly out of that. So, the use of this sort of technology improves operational efficiency. Ultimately, it reduces costs, and it can reduce costs quite substantially. It enhances your kind of environmental social governance, because you may be reducing the number of visits to sites because you hold things digitally as well. And really importantly, you can create an accurate physical representation of your environment, of your assets, which can help a wide range of stakeholders. Imagine that you're a contractor and you're going to go and work at a complex site like an airport or an NHS hospital. Being able to sort of understand the layout or the risks of the site, or where, I don't know, where the windows are, or which is the direction the roof's facing, whatever it happens to be. With a 3D model, which is drone captured, you can understand that so much quicker than any other technology. And it's, for a lot of organizations which may be involved in complex tenders, that would be really invaluable information. The other thing is that I think as well, across different departments, and we work with universities where there are kind of academics in geography, so we do some things for Exeter University, and also we work with their estate team. They tend not to work together. They're quite siloed in their mentality, typical of a large organization. And our technology is able to sort of bring together those two elements of geospatialness, if that's such a word. So in the geography team, they kind of work with Esri and GIS and that sort of thing. And in the estates team, they work a lot more in terms of AutoCAD and Revit. But the technology and the outputs that we create can work in both of those platforms, and it presents an opportunity for people to be able to join things up.